Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whenever you're watching this. I am Derek Jackson. I will be your host for what we are going to call the Life and Business Masterclass Preview. Oh my God. If you tuned in, you are in the right place at the right time. There's no mistake about that at all. Okay, so if you are somewhere near a computer, somewhere near your phone, make sure you send this link out so that we can share this because this is a free one. This is free. After today, it's going to be no mistake about it. You're going to know exactly where you need to be on November 4th and November 5th, okay, for the Life and Business Masterclass. Man, I remember, going to the movies super duper early to watch the trailers. I was that guy. So, and so you got to plan, you say the movie starts at 1 o'clock. The day starts changing about noon because I want to get the right seats. This is before you just chose your seats in advance, right? So you had to get there super duper in advance, right? And then, so then you got to wait in line for concessions. And you're waiting in line for concessions, and, people know what they serve at the movie theaters, but for some reason, somehow, they take a lot longer when you are in a rush. You ever had that happen? Okay, so maybe that's just me. And so you finally get up there, and you're like, whew, I'm ready. I don't care how much it costs. I want my snacks for my movie. Yes, right? And so you get your large bucket of popcorn. Shameless plug. You get your large bucket of popcorn, and it's got all the seasonings and the aroma and everything. That's what this is right here. We are in the preview of what's to come, okay? Because the best is yet to come. I'm telling you, this is going to be remarkable. As my mentor would say, it's going to be unprecedented, all right? So do what it takes right now. Go ahead, send that link out. I'm petitioning you, send that link out if you have it right now, because we want to share this with as many people as possible. This is going to bless and benefit so many people's lives so that the use of their lives outlives their lives. Okay, we're talking about life. We're talking about business. We're talking about being future ready. All right. So, like I said, this is just the trailers. But after today, there's going to be no mistake about it whatsoever. If you're not registered yet, you will. Oh, yes, you will. Absolutely. And so what we want to do is we want to cause a rising tide to raise all ships. So what we want to do is we want to send this message out to as many people as possible. So everybody in the harbor comes up a little bit higher, right? We come up just a little bit higher, right? Okay, so again, my name is Derek Jackson. I will be your host. You're going to hear from just some of our speakers. Right? And it's going to blow your mind. It's going to absolutely blow your mind. It's going to knock your socks off so you can walk around on the beaches of the world barefoot. Amen? All right, so we are going to jump right into some testimonials. We've got some folks that have experienced the business, the Life and Business, formerly known as the Marcus Benjamin Masterclass. So some folks that have experienced that up close and personal, and not just the feeling that they got from being in the room. They're going to talk a little bit about what happened after they left the room, because that's the key. What we want to do is we want to apply the knowledge that we get to move forward. We're in a day and time right now where knowledge is everywhere. So it's not about what you know, it's about how you filter. All right, so we got to make sure that we are filtering what we're going to get at the Life and Business Masterclass to help propel us to where we want to be in our future, okay? So with no further ado, I'm going to turn it over to some of these testimonials so they can share just a snippet of what to expect.
Number one, you're going to get next level speakers. They speak on a level that transcends the level that most people are already on. You're going to get next level speakers. The second thing you're going to get is you're going to get next level strategies. You're going to get next level strategies. It's not just about information, it's really about imparting wisdom to people and giving them the strategies to move them from where they are to where they want to be. The first two, next level speakers, next level strategies, but then you're going to get next steps. And that's the most important. You're not going to leave here with just a strategy and not an action plan to move forward so that you can actually realize what they've been pouring into you for the last 2 days. You're going to get those next steps, the next steps to take you from where you are to meet your goals and dreams for your business, for your church, for your nonprofit entity.
from New York, and we came down to be a part of the Masterclass. It was an awesome experience this time. This is actually our second time being here, my second time, but we had an awesome experience. Great speakers. I'll tell you, anyone who is not a part of this, you need to sign up right away and be here next year.
It was actually an amazing class. What I took from it was understanding perspective and being persistent in everything that I do.
Marcus Benjamin, best kept secret.
Yes, he is.
I wanna be successful. Yeah, yeah. Success needs a specialist. Goals need a genius. Yeah. Expectations need an expert. A-point, B-point expert. Success needs a specialist. Goals need a genius. Expectations need an expert. A-point, B-point expert. Success needs a specialist. Goals need a genius. Expectations need an expert. A-point, B-point expert. Success needs a specialist. Goals need a genius. Expectations need an expert. Marcus Benjamin. Yeah.
So listen. We're going to share your testimonial next year, okay? Because we know you're going to be blown away. Your life is going to be transformed in a very masterful way, and we don't want to take any of that for granted. So we're planning already in advance to gather your testimonial because we know that this is the premier strategy session and pull together to create an ecosystem of winners as far as life is concerned, as far as business is concerned. We're talking about being future ready. What I want to do is I want to give our chief problem solver to you so that you can hear from his mouth exactly what to expect moving forward with the Life and Business Masterclass. Would you please help me welcome the incomparable, the unprecedented, the amazing Mr. Marcus Benjamin.
Oh yeah, we are ready. We are excited. We are glad that you are in the house today. Yeah, you're in the virtual house. You're in the digital house. You're in the streaming house, and we are excited. From what I have seen in the chat, there's some great conversations that have already started. We are excited that you are here. Listen, if Derek Jackson set us up today for a great preview, go ahead right there. Listen, put those claps right there. Drop those fives. Drop those 100s in the chat because he did a phenomenal job. Him and his wife, Tavia, are the founders of Taste Buds Popcorn in Concord, North Carolina. And guess what? They ship all kinds of popcorn, like 200 flavors worth, all across the country. So make sure you check out Taste Buds Popcorn. But again, I'm excited to be here. And you guys notice, yeah, I'm wearing my Sixers jersey. I'm wearing my number 3. Listen, yeah, I'm wearing Allen Iverson. I'm wearing Allen Iverson today. Well, let's be very honest. Let's be very clear. Allen Iverson, I'm not wearing his jersey because he's the GOAT. Now, we all know who the GOAT is. The GOAT is number 23, Chicago Bulls. Come on, MJ, there's only one, and then there's everybody else. But the reason why I am wearing AI today is because AI's street name, his nickname, his basketball name was what? The Answer. Come on, right there in the chat, just type it in, The Answer. Now, we know ultimately he wasn't, but you get my point. He said basically in Philly, I'm that dude. Does that make sense? I'm that dude. Some of you guys may remember the phrase, practice. We talking about practice? Some of you guys may remember that. But at any rate, moving forward, he said, man, don't you see what I'm doing? Listen, but at any rate, moving forward, his nickname, his street name was The Answer. And what I want you to understand is not only are we bringing high energy, but we're bringing answers, life and business answers, as we get future ready. Come on, right there in the chat. Just drop it in the chat. Future ready. Yeah, you see the speakers on the screen behind me. You see Michael Blue. You see T. Renee Smith. You see Chris Elmore. You see Bobby Robinson. And there you see that fine individual, to right there. Omika Benjamin. You see her. Listen, we are preparing an amazing 2 days of insight and perspective on life and business. So let me give you a review, a preview, a rundown of what you can expect on Friday. So Friday, we have Bobby Robinson, Chris Elmore, T. Renee Smith, and Michael Blue. We start in the morning on Friday. Bobby is going to be kicking us off talking about the future of business and business strategy and business modeling. And for those of you who may not be familiar with business modeling is basically how you build your business to generate scalable revenue, right? That's what a business model is. He's going to be talking about the future of business modeling. Then we've got Chris Elmore. He's going to be talking about the future of technology and how to leverage technology to scale and to grow your business and your enterprise. Then we have T. Renee Smith. T. Renee Smith is going to be talking to us about the future of consulting and why every business is a service-based business. Did you hear me? Why every business is a service-based business. And then I'll be sharing that day on the future of building scalable enterprises. And the context I'll be coming from is the freedom model. Yeah, right there in the chat, drop that word freedom model. Freedom model. I'll be talking about that on Friday. And then we jump into Friday evening. That's during the day going from 9 until about 2 p.m. Then that night around 6:30 p.m., I'll be coming back with none other than Michael Anthony Blue. And Michael Anthony Blue and I will be having a conversation about the future of faith, dealing with why worldview matters in business and life. Why your worldview matters in business and life. That's Friday. Now, hold on for a second. Some of you guys, registered at the early bird registration for like $49 for the for this virtual platform to have access to the That's just Friday. We haven't even gotten into Saturday yet. So when we jump over into Saturday, guess what? We've got an amazing day lined up. And when it comes to the sessions, me and my wife, Omika, will be doing a session on the future of family. Then we're going to step over and Omika and Chris Matthews, not Chris Elmore from Friday, but Chris Matthews will be doing a session on the future of counseling and therapy. Now, again, that session is not designed for counselors and therapists, although counselors and therapists will benefit from it. But it's designed to help people understand the benefit of counseling and therapy, how to choose the right counselor and the right therapist, and how to get the most from counseling and therapy. And then I'll be coming back talking about the future skills, the skills you're going to need to be future ready. Meaning, what are the social skills? What are the professional skills? What are the business skills that you need to have to make sure that you are not washed away and caught up in the rush of automation and technology and finding yourself out of work, underpaid, frustrated. So we're going to be talking about the future skills that you're going to need. And if that, listen, if that just wasn't enough, Omika and I will be coming back, closing out the day, talking about the future of serving and the future of mastery. Now, listen, I just need some honest people in the chat. I mean, seriously, I just need some honest people in the chat. What we've just dropped for you is worth much more than $49. Can I just get some honest people in the chat to just say yes? Come on, can I just get some honest people in the chat? Listen, no liars needed right now. We just need some honest people in the chat to say, Marcus, my goodness. I mean, you've got a suite of highly successful, accomplished, and even multi-million-dollar business owners and strategists and thinkers. And all I had to pay was $49 to get access to this information. Unprecedented. Come on, just unprecedented, right? Now let's take it a step further. There are some of you that made an investment in the Black Card Access. Come on, somebody put hashtag Black Card in the chat. Come on, hashtag Black Card in the chat. Listen, there's some of you who will be joining us down in Charleston, South Carolina on December 3rd, and we're going to be debriefing the masterclass in person. There's some special things we've prepared in this Black Card Access that will be unprecedented. I mean, we've got some special guests coming in the room. Listen, let me say something. If I were you, if I did not purchase the Black Card Access, if I were you, I would go ahead, if it were me, I would go ahead and I would send an email to requests@thebenjaminagency.com, requests @thebenjaminagency.com, or to Latrese, Latrese, @thebenjaminagency.com, and say, I need to upgrade my registration. I need to upgrade to Black Card Access. I'm telling you that the Masterclass and the Black Card Access come with a 100% money-back guarantee. If we don't deliver on the value that we convey, if we don't deliver on the value that we present and market, you have every right to ask us for your money back, because you made an investment based upon one thing, but then we delivered something far less. I'm telling you that the Black Card Access is going to transform the next 5 to 10 years of your life. The masterclass itself is going to be amazing. I mean, that information, that insight, that quality, that perspective. But then when we add the Black Card Access and the special guests that we have, listen to me, these special guests, these are not even the speakers at the masterclass. Okay, you didn't get what I just said. The special guests that we have coming to Charleston on December 3rd, if I were you, I mean, no, I'm not you, because I'm me and I like being me. But if I were you, knowing what I know, I would make sure I make the investment. Because this investment, although it is tax deductible, did you know when you make an investment in professional development and business growth, it's tax deductible in 95% of all states in the country? Did you know that? South Carolina is one of those states. North Carolina, one of those states. Georgia, one of those states. Virginia, one of those states. Washington, the District of Columbia, yes. Dallas, yes. Do you see my point? Moving forward, the point I'm trying to make is these states and these cities, they're telling me it's time to go. These states and these cities will allow you, and again, 48 of the 50 states to give you that opportunity. You will have the opportunity to write this thing off. Get all this value, get all this information, all this insight, all this perspective, the networking, the connections, and then you get to tell Uncle Sam, deduct that from my taxable income, and you get credit for growth. I'm not sure if, listen, see, I know you didn't know that. Well, not every one of you, many of you did, but you get Uncle Sam will give you credit for making an investment in yourself, and Uncle Sam will take that off of your taxable income to reduce what you owe him at the end of the tax year. Do you feel what I'm saying? The point I'm endeavoring to make to you today, as I get ready to get out of your hair in the next 120 seconds, I want you to grasp this reality, that your future is based upon, in large measure, the investment that you make today. Here's what Solomon said, the wisest man to live outside of Jesus, one of the wealthiest man, if not the wealthiest man in ancient Israel. He said, buy wisdom. He said, buy, meaning make an investment in wisdom. Meaning wisdom that you get cheaply is just information. Let's try that again. Wisdom that you get cheaply is just information. What makes information wisdom is that you make a greater investment into it. Therefore, your perspective, your context, your insight, your ability to assimilate and apply that knowledge multiplies because you are inwardly pressed to do something greater with that information because you've made a significant investment in that information. I want to challenge you to be a part of Black Card Access. I want to challenge you. And listen, if we do not deliver, you can ask for your money back. Now, you got to give us a valid reason. You got to show us where we missed it. Now, you can't just come and say, man, I came. No, show us where we missed it. Show us what we marketed. Show us what we presented. And show us how we fell short of that. And you verify that solid, guess what? We can't argue with you. You're right. We've got to give you your money back. So in my last 30 seconds, I'm going to come back after we kick it to Derek and we go to the lounge and kind of chill out in the lounge, have a conversation for a few moments. When I come back before you, Bobby Robinson is going to share a few pieces. I'm going to talk with you today about the future. Listen to me, the future of transformation in an information overload. The future of transformation in an information overload. We've got information everywhere. We've got Google, we've got YouTube, you've got Instagram, you've got coaches, you've got life coaches, you've got therapists, you've got business coaches, you've got Clubhouse, you've got TikTok. The future of transformation while in information overload. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Marcus Benjamin, the host of the Life and Business Masterclass. I'm going to kick it back to Derek Jackson. I'm going to see you in the chat and in the lounge in just a few moments. But give a great big shout, come on, for the Life and Business Masterclass.
Now, if I'm anything in the ballpark of what's going on right now where you are, you're like this. You glued to the screen, right? You glued to your screen for good reason. It's going to be that good, okay? So, listen, one of the wonderful parts about this application, this platform, and what we're doing here with the Life and Business Masterclass is that it's going to be super interactive. So, we're in your room. You don't have to be in our room. We're in your room. So what I want to do first is we're going to kick a real quick poll out there for you guys so we can test our polling capabilities. First question, really, really simple. Have you attended a masterclass hosted by the Benjamin Agency before? Hopefully you had a chance to start building upon what we're creating here, this ecosystem of excellence. I'm telling you, this is going to be unlike anything you've ever experienced. Completely interactive. Matter of fact, I think I got another poll for you. Real quick. I saw some of the answers from the first one, which is awesome. We've got about 75% of people that have attended a Marcus Benjamin masterclass, and one that has not yet, but they can't wait to attend, okay? So the great part about it is that there is no special access that's going to keep you from being in the room with people who have been here because they understand the value. So you'll get the same experience, because experience is everything these days. And what we're talking about is being future ready, okay? So next poll that I want to jump into you real quick is just some of the return on investment. What are you looking to gain out of this masterclass? What are some of the things you're looking to gain outside of this masterclass, okay? What are you looking forward to the most? And it's a multiple choice question, okay? So out of the choices given, if you could go ahead and respond back to one of those poll choices, okay? I'll let those answers kind of slide on in. But what I want to do is I want to turn it over to a genius in his own right, Mr. Bobby Robinson, Esquire. And so he is the influencer attorney and a tech founder. And he's got some things he's going to share with you right now that, like I said, this is just the trailer. You're going to say, please keep talking, please, because he's, like I said, some of the things he's going to drop, and he's so humble about it. Some of the things he's going to drop are going to, you're going to just want him not to stop talking. It just is what it is. I met Bobby several months back, and we've got a great relationship. But his mind is so sharp. So, I know I told you didn't have to grab a pen and paper, but you may want to just pull one up just in case something, some pearl of wisdom falls out, and you want to make sure you get that down on a sheet of paper, okay? So, with no further ado, please help me welcome Mr. Bobby Robinson.
Hey, welcome everybody. I am so excited to be here with you guys. Thank you, Marcus and the full team here at Benjamin Strategy. Look, we're going to talk about some substantive items, right? I know substantive, no big words today, but it's just an opportunity because it is so important when we talk about doing life in doing business. Many of us as entrepreneurs, we look at our business as a means to create wealth. And part of the things that I like to focus on is how do we develop the right business model to help us scale? How do we develop the right products and services and protect those things that are going to help us generate the right revenue, right? So one of the things that I think is really important, I tell folks from a branding perspective, you can't protect what you don't own. Right? And what does that basically mean is a lot of entrepreneurs spend a whole lot of time, money, and effort coming up with brands and names that they do not own. And so one of the things that we're going to talk about is why it's super important that you at least evaluate whether or not you need, for example, a trademark. So if you have a brand, a trademark is the item, the intellectual property that's going to allow you to own that brand exclusively. It's also going to put you in a position to play offense, right? So I love basketball, and we're trying to go all the way. When you're in business, what you don't want to do is consistently be playing defense. And what does that show up as? It shows up as you constantly having to chase people about your brand. It's constantly having to send out cease and desist letters because someone's using your brand without permission. And so one of the things we're going to talk about is just various strategies to help you start playing offense when it comes to your brand. But before you can play offense, you got to protect the thing that you own. So if you have a brand, I always tell folks again, you got to protect the thing that's going to make you money. And if it's making you money, whether you have a product, whether you have a cosmetic line, or you offer a service, whether it's a coaching business or consulting, whatever that thing is, you want to make sure you protect it and you want to make sure you defend it against other individuals that may try to use your brand without permission. And we see it in the news every day, whether it be the Kardashians or some other big brand. There are tons of trademark infringement lawsuits out there. There's none short, and they all have one thing in common. And that one thing is they didn't do their homework up front. Someone already is using the brand, and now that's causing an issue. So we're going to talk about all of those components, and I'm going to help you put yourself in a position where you're super confident about your brand today. And as you get ready about your brand today and know about your brand today, it's all about positioning it for the future. And the future is Web3. I'm pretty sure many of you have heard about Web3. Web3 is the new frontier of how entrepreneurs are leveraging their brands in the metaverse, using other tools such as NFTs. Again, if you are providing a service, let's take example, interior design services. So if you offer those services today, you can also offer those services in the metaverse. People are buying digital land. They're building office buildings. They're building residential homes. They're also building out brick and mortar retail stores. And so it's important that at some point in time, they need someone to be able to help them design it. But the interesting part about that is you can provide services in the metaverse, but if your services aren't protected, then you're going to also have an issue. So when we're talking about how do we protect what you have today, and then how do we protect what you have and desire to do in Web3? But I even just taking a step back, because I get super excited about Web3. I tend to get ahead of myself. But one of the things that's super important is you have to evaluate Web3 as a viable revenue strategy for your business. Every single business needs to consider, how do I incorporate this whole Web3 NFT piece into my business? One of the things I want to make sure that a lot of entrepreneurs don't do is don't get caught up on the vernacular and the terminology. Web3 is just another form of the internet, right? So if you're successful today on Instagram and TikTok, you could do a lot of those same things in the metaverse. So however you are marketing and advertising your business today, you're going to also be able to market and advertise your business and those services in the metaverse. And so we want to be able to just think about, okay, if there's an opportunity for me to service folks in the metaverse, whether that be their avatars or what have you, then what does my strategy need to look like? What do I want to call it if it's something different other than what you're doing today? And then how do I protect it? Because the next thing is, okay, if you're in the metaverse and you're generating revenue from the services that you're providing in the metaverse, then there may also be an opportunity for you to license your products and services. And that's just another form of revenue. So licensing, you're just giving someone permission to use your brand, and in exchange for that permission, they're going to pay you a nice little royalty. They're going to pay you a royalty. There are companies like Disney and Apple, large companies, small companies that have very, very strong brands. And what they do is they license it out. Why is licensing so important? And we're going to talk about it. One of the reasons licensing is critically important is because, guess what? You've already done the work. You've already done the investing. You've already done the heavy lifting. And so if there's someone else that's interested in leveraging what you've already built and designed, a license model is a great way to generate additional revenue. So we're going to talk about all of those components during my session. So I'm super excited to have you. I hope this bit was informative, but I will tell you this is nothing about what you're going to get in the actual masterclass. So I look forward to seeing you then. Until then, take care.
If this has been a great investment of a little more than an hour, come on, go ahead and drop that 100 in the chat. You know, drop that 100 in the chat if this has been an amazing investment of your time. I'm talking about right here on a great Wednesday afternoon. So here is what I want to do as we wrap up today. I mean, my energy is here. I mean, I'm excited. But listen, I want to share something with you in these remaining moments. Number one, I'm wearing my AI jersey, as I mentioned to you earlier, because his street name was The Answer. And ladies and gentlemen, we don't just want to bring information, excitement, and enthusiasm, although we want all of that. We want to bring answers to you. Answers for the future of business. Answers for the future of life and family. Answers for the future of your professional development, your skill development. We want to bring answers to you. We want you to leave with answers that you can say, guess what? I can apply that. I can put that to practice right now. I can make that adjustment right now. I can make that move Monday morning. Do you feel what I'm saying? We want to give you answers. Now, here's the context. I mentioned to you earlier that I wanted to finish our conversation today talking about transformation in an age or a time of information overload. How do we get business transformation, life transformation, when it seems as if every day we're getting a new perspective, a new thought, a new idea, a new opinion, a new thought leader is rising up, a new speaker, a new coach, a new framework, a new methodology, a new YouTube video, a new this, a new TikTok, does that make sense? How do we experience authentic transformation in an age of information overload? How do we do that? Number one, we have to realize a few things. That many people are dining at the buffet of irrelevant information. Oh, you've seen the buffets. You remember, depending on where you are in the country, you've got Golden Corral, you've got Diddy's, and so forth. You've got various restaurants that have buffets. They have just a smorgasbord of food you're choosing from. Many people are dining at the buffet of irrelevant information. So if we're going to experience authentic transformation in an age of information overload, number one, we have to stop eating at the buffet. You feel me? We've got to stop eating at the buffet, and instead of being a mile wide and an inch deep, we've got to be an inch wide and a mile deep. That means rather than you reading 10 books a year, you need to consume and consume and consume 2 books a year. You see, you've got to stop dining at the buffet of this irrelevant information, of this information overload. You've got to make a decision that I'm not trying to be wide, I'm trying to be deep. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we've got to start narrowing the degree and the level of information that's coming at us. You got to start narrowing that down. You got to, I know we're following thousands of people or hundreds of people, and you know we got Netflix, we've got Hulu, we've got Paramount, we've got Peacock. I mean, you've got all these different forms of entertainment, et cetera, et cetera. Hey, if it's not on Amazon, hey, go check over this. Hey, if it's not on Netflix, hey, go check on Peak. Listen to me very carefully. That may work in entertainment, but that doesn't work in transformation. Because a confused mind doesn't act. And what you don't realize, many of you don't realize, is that you have intentions, but you never really pull the trigger. You never really get yourself actionable and engaged in executing a purpose and a plan, because a confused mind doesn't act. A confused customer doesn't buy. So one of the great challenges that you and I have is that you've got to synthesize and become more cogent in the information that's coming into you. You do whatever you're going to do with entertainment. I'm not talking about entertainment. I'm talking about if you're going to experience transformation in your life and your business, you're going to have to stop eating at the buffet. You're going to have to choose to go deep with about 5 people. Again, I don't mean eliminate all of your social connections down to 5 people, but I'm saying when it comes to life, business, faith, when it comes to mental health, emotional intelligence, so on and so forth, you want to narrow that down to about 5 voices for about 2 years. I'm providing to you a strategy right here that you've got to stop eating at the buffet. Listen, buffets are great, but it's better to sit down at a 5-star restaurant and have a 5-course meal and enjoy great conversation, great ambiance, great atmosphere, great service, because we're not trying to get stuffed. We're trying to have an experience. Okay, let me help somebody. Did you just hear what I just said? People go to a buffet because you're trying to get full. You're trying to get stuffed. And after you eat all of that food, then you are uncomfortable. You're miserable. You're sleepy. And you enjoyed all of the food while you were eating it. But after you finish eating it, you're stuffed. You're tight. You're tired. You're getting overweight. And that's exactly what's happening with millions of people across the country right now. Is that they are constantly, daily, even some people minute by minute and hour by hour, they are dining at a buffet of information. And when it comes time to act, they are confused because they've got too many voices in their head. They've got too many voices. They've got too many ideas, too many thoughts, too many perspectives. I'm challenging you to choose a 5-star restaurant. I'm challenging you to choose 5 people that you're going to lock into for the next 2 years. 5 people. Lock in. Business, faith, life, emotional intelligence, performance psychology, family, whatever it is. But I'm challenging you to experience authentic transformation. And the way we're going to experience authentic transformation isn't by getting as much information as you can from as many sources as you can. No, it's about getting quality information, quality insight, quality perspective with someone who has receipts behind them. Not just social proof, but life proof. And going deep with those people. I mean, going deep. The problem we have, I get the opportunity to speak to people all over the country, trying to reach goals, trying to accomplish this, trying to accomplish that, trying to make this happen, trying to make that happen, etc. And the challenge that they have is they've got too much information. And much of it is irrelevant. And a confused customer never makes a purchase. And the reason why you find it hard to pull the trigger on the major things that transforms your family, your life, your business, your career, is because many of you have simply too much information. And much of that information that you have is irrelevant because Google doesn't give you context. Data is important, but data doesn't give you context. You must do what we call deep diving into the data. We must take a deep dive in order to get context to understand the data. Do you feel what I'm saying? LeBron James is going to pass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar this year in points scored. But LeBron James had 4 more years of playing at the beginning of his career than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Not taking away from LeBron's scoring. I'm making a point that the data doesn't give you the context. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Marcus Benjamin, the host of the Life and Business Masterclass, and we hope you enjoyed this free preview. I want you to